Hey folks, Country Prepper here. So, we're here at the Bug Out Camp location and just thought I'd kind of show you guys around a little bit. I didn't get a whole lot of video this weekend because, well, mainly just people wanted to just kind of enjoy themselves, have some fun, instead of, you know, doing all the work to set up cameras and all that kind of stuff. But I thought I'd at least get a little video of what we have going on here, some of the campsites and things like that. I'll show you some of the other things that we've dealt with. It has rained almost the entire weekend, and I'll show you the river here in just a second. So in the amount of time that we've been here, this river has risen probably about 6 feet. You could see along the edge there it was a little higher yesterday. It's gone down a little bit. But, yeah, we were kind of worried about getting flooded out there for a little while. Thought I'd show you guys this spot, too. That was completely covered yesterday, that big sandbar out there. And there was actually people that came out here and canoed past that. So, we thought they were nuts, but they ended up making it. So, I'll show you guys a few of the campsites we have set up here. This was Martin, and just kind of goes to show that you can use plastic in your setups if you want to and keep your bug out bag a little lighter. A friend of mine brought his big canopy shelter, and that thing was a godsend this weekend with all the rain we had. Johnny from Jeep Things is still in his hammock. He's got a pretty nice big tarp up there above him. Same with Heath from Random Videos. He has a big canopy over top of his hammock. Here I am out in the middle of nowhere. I've just got a 10 by 10 tarp in a diamond shape with my hammock underneath. I decided to go with a hammock because of how wet it was. I didn't feel like waking up in a damp tent. So just to kind of show you what I have going on here, I've got my To-Go Systems Trifecta version 2 here. I've got my mangrove sleeping bag that I did a video of. Got my little inflatable pillow that I talked about, and this is that last hammock that I did a video of. One little tip for you guys that are hammock campers, or actually doing any type of camping, I always keep the hot hands right in reach wherever I'm sleeping. That way if your feet get cold or whatever, you can break one of those open, throw it down to the bottom of your sleeping bag and warm your feet up quick, and that works out pretty good. So other than that, underneath of here I have my Reflectix, basically a foil wrapped or foil backed bubble wrap, and then my thin military style foam pad underneath of that. So that's my setup, and I had no trouble staying warm at all. In fact, the first night, I had to throw a couple of hand warmers down by my toes just to warm them up, but other than that, I was pretty good. And but last night I was actually shedding layers, so it was kind of touch and go depending on what the temperature was, how much the wind was blowing, whether it was raining or not. You know, there's a lot of variables that go into how warm you stay while you're sleeping. So let's go check out Bo and Brandon's shelter here. Now these guys were brave enough to set up over by the pond that has been forming in this campground. We got all kinds of frogs and stuff that have been chirping over here. So they did not set up too far off of the pond. How's it going this morning, guys? So who was sleeping in what? Brandon was in the tent. Bo was in the hammock. This is Brandon from Bearded CB82. This is Bo from the Doghouse Outdoors. Couple of great channels you guys need to go check out. But they just used one big tarp between the two of them, looked like it worked out pretty good. You guys stay dry?
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Oh, yeah. Worked out pretty well. Yep.
To give you guys an idea of how wet it has been this weekend, this is the trail coming into the campground. So it was pretty soggy. Everybody had wet feet. All of us were smart enough to bring wool socks though, so we kept our feet warm, and we had a fire going the whole time. So we kept warm anyway. Got another big puddle coming up here. Now Lee ended up having to move his campsite. He came out here outside the parking lot because he got flooded out. There was actually a little bit, there's a channel running through this campground that if the water gets too high, it basically creates a creek going through the middle of the campground, and he had at first, the first night, set up right next to where that creek is, not knowing. And so he ended up moving out here to try and stay dry. And I like that big tarp. I'm going to have to check into that. Might have to get myself one of those, because that looks like it would be handy for hammock camping in rainy weather. If there is one lesson to be learned by the bug out camp this weekend and all the rain that we had to deal with and the muddy conditions and all that, is that you do not get to determine what the weather or the conditions are like when the shit hits the fan. So if you should ever happen to need to bug out, you better be prepared for just about anything, or you better be ready to deal with the consequences of not being prepared for it.